Hi everyone. Hey, this is Kaja here. And first of all, good morning everyone. And I'm glad for showing a lot of interest on my last videos of Shim. Thanks for valuable comments and emails. As I told you earlier, I am ready with the fake framework using a stub. I'm planning for this video for 5 minutes, short and sweet spot about that topic. Let's get on it. And you know that in fake frameworks we have two different flavors where one is shim and another one is on stub. As I already took explained enough about that shim framework, if you want to refer it again, just go through this link which is shared already in YouTube. So we get into the stub. So what is stub? Stub replace a class with a small substitute that implement the same interface. As you know that concept of unit testing where I want to hide the actual debug time or running functionality in the runtime, because the unit testing is all about testing a unit. Do not test the business functionality which is out of the scope of the method. In my last videos I have explained where I have a method which internally calling three different units, where one is calling WC of service, one is calling some database, and one is calling another data source. So all are collecting those information from the three different sources, and depends on that it is taking decision and responding back to that users. My intention is testing the unit, the testing that method. My intention, it's not about testing the WC of service or a database or other source of incoming messages. So that's all about stub. The same concept, if you want more clear about that, please check my previous video. And the stub is just depends on only interface. So the functionality you want to define only through an interface. If you see the second line, to use stub, you have to design your application so that each component depends only on the interface and not on other components. So to be in one line, we should have defined our application design in a perfect manner where it is sharing through an interface. So stub can only use when only you are using the interface. So when to use stub? Use stub for calling within your Visual Studio application, and shim for calling to other reference assembly. It's true because just the previous question I told that stub can only used for an interface. So if other third-party DLLs and all, we cannot expect that interface. So that's why it is recommended by the Microsoft where shim can only used for external reference and internal reference. Obviously it is in our control, we can design ourselves within a good interface design structure. So stub is recommended for within our application. Do stub is replacement of shim? The third question, definitely no. The fourth one is disadvantage. What is the disadvantage? The shim can replace call to private method if all the types on the method signatures are visible. Stub can only replace visible method. So if you want to use the private one, so shim is the right option. Don't go for a stub. And the fifth one, performance. So as a good coding standard and good approach is running through a stub. Don't go for a shim, because shim will create or generate the code at the runtime. So that's what I have given here. Shim runs slowly because they rewrite your code at the runtime. Stub can do not have this performance over it, and or as faster as a virtual method can do it. So let's see the sample program. This is one method which I have created a program where the line this anonymous method I stop price defined an object, and this is under the DLL of application.business.fakes.stub. So if you have any questions about how to add a fake assembly, please refer the previous video if you want just a short, like assume that I have a business logic in another CS project. I just reference to my unit test application and just go to the reference block inside that unit testing project, right click, generate fake library. So it will automatically create a fake folders and put that library over here. You just need to reference on top of your namespace through the using keyword. So through that it is possible. Okay, so this is a sample application where I have a stock which I want the stock price as an argument, and sorry, I have a stock class which is expecting an object of the iStock price as an interface object, and the third line is like I just try to call the get stock price. I want to get the stock price. So I want to check only whether the stock price functionality or business logic which I written inside this get stock price is working fine or not, irrespective of what kind of arguments are giving, like some combination, anonymous combination, if a null, how it is working it is. That is what my test case is. My intention is should not test outside of the stock price method, because the stock price might be hitting some other external source to get the details, and with the details it will format something to the data which is relevant to the user and get back to it. So I just want to check the format and business logic, do not want to test the external source. So let me get into the program. So this is my sample application. Okay, so this I created a unit test project, and starting, the syntax, and this is the stuff I used to use as a coding standard here. And the next thing is this is the actual method. So let me get into the class. Okay, this is the iStock price class, and which I define a method, and I have implemented here in stock price, and it is statically returning some values. Assume that this value, getting this value from any external source, assume it. Okay, so this is my parent class, where I have a constructor. In this constructor I am injecting a dependency injection of iStock price interface. So through that iStock price interface I am calling iStock price of get stock price from DB. So actually this is a DB call, but I don't want to hit the DB here. So my functionality should stop here. I don't want to check here. Okay, so maybe once I get the details, stock price details, maybe I'm formatting data, and then finally I'm returning here. So let me test this code. So I put that in debug mode. It is triggering. So it is started, loaded all my related assemblies, fake assemblies, everything. You can see that in this orange color bar. So once it is ready, I will get the control in this line number 28. Yeah, I got it. So I'm just using F11 and F10 for just switching. So this line is setting a stub to this object, so that whenever I am making any call internally to the get stock price from database, then it will automatically make a call to here, not to the actual method, because I want to test only the method of get stock price, not to that DB hit or any other external source hit. So first I set the stub framework, and now I'm calling. So as usual it is coming here, and that interface object is assigning inside, so that through this object only I'm going to call this iStock price. So next line, stock dot get stock price. So I'm getting the argument as test. Assume that this is stock price name. So in this line, actually when you're debugging, this line has to go inside to this iStock price interface, where it should come here and execute this line. But the magic of this stub or this unit testing framework, I should not go beyond this method. I need to test only this business functionality of this method, not to the external source. So let's assume again I'm pressing F11. Oops, control is came here because I don't want to test the DB call. I assume that I tested everything, the DB call, and I should get this value. Okay, and I got 1 2 3 4 back to the result. I'm returning back from there, and I'm got the value of 1 2 3 4, which I has assigned here, and I'm checking asset dot or equal. This is the value I assigned, and I'm expecting this should be same as like 1 2 3 4. Yeah, I got it. So now the test is passed. Yeah, I got the green color. Hope you understand this video, and if you have any question, please post it on the comment and just mail me. And if any questions or anything related to that, I'll be always welcome to answer all those questions. Thanks for watching this video, and thank you again.